Save this bad boy. Okay. Also, nee, passt. Gut. Weiter geht's. December 27th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Apparently the prosecution is also ready. Who is the judge here anyway? Mr. von Karma, your opening statement. Very well. No opening statement, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end in 3 minutes from now. Ist klar. Ist klar. Order! Mr. von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah, must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now. Right. I'll call my witness. My decisive witness to the stand. It's that mysterious boat shop owner. Wieso glaubt er, dass so viele Informationen geben kann? Frage ich mich, witness, state your profession. I'm the proprietor of the wet restaurant, the Wet Noodle at Gert Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yup, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this old guy is. Yes. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah. I have predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. Der Name wird wichtig sein. Yeah, right. The witness will state his name. Okay. I'm not really sure. What do you mean? My memory, Your Honor. The witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. He can't recall, you say? Yeah, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Very well. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we, witness? Okay. Okay. Wobei das ein bisschen unglaubwürdig ist, dass der Kollege seinen Namen nicht kennt, weil eigentlich müsste er dann letzten Endes trotzdem sich irgendwann erinnern, normalerweise. It was just the night of the 24th just after midnight. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats as usual. Then I heard a bang. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. Ah, dachte, wir kriegen ein Bild davon. Very well, I'd like to begin the cross-examination. Oh, God. There is nothing to question in my witness testimony, ergo no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Fuck you, von Karma! Judge your verdict now. Was? Mr. Wright, Natürlich! That's not mehr, Alter. What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Excuse me, Mr. von Karma. 3 minutes just passed. I see, well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. Der Typ hat so ein Problem. Bam. Just after midnight, you say? Yep, just around then. Are you sure? Pretty sure, yep. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. Okay. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it clearly, I did, yep. You see, continue. Yeah, okay. Is there anyone who can verify that? Well, I guess Polly could. That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright, exactly what's not good enough. Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot? Don't be so hard on this on the girl, Keithy boy. Keith? The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue. Wenn nicht gesagt werden kann, ob er im Shop ist oder nicht, ist es auf jeden Fall ebenfalls wichtig, dann ist sein Statement nicht wasserdicht. Pun intended. And where did the bang seem to come from? From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Yep. Good. Continue. Okay. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly, but I figured there was two men out there. Yeah, yup. But you couldn't see them clearly. Yup. At the time, that is. At the time. Okay. So you heard 2 gunshots total. Yup. That's what Lada said in her testimony yesterday. Naja, okay, das eine Bang wissen wir ja. Also wahrscheinlich. By your window. Yup, by my window. Right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick. But he was right there in front of me. I saw him. That's rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. I have a bad feeling about this. Yup. That man was a defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Aha. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad! Jetzt wird's merkwürdig, definitiv. That's certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by too. Dad? Kann jemand das kommentieren? Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy! Jetzt ist allerdings die Frage, woher ihr ihn kennt. This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Von Karma. He lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall. Du fucking douchebag. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I'd better act quick or this trial is going to be over. Fuck you, Von Karma. You're on. Yeah. We proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Yep, Mr. Wright. Are you referring to the fingerprints from Mr. Edgeworth's right hand on the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand? Yup, exactly. 2 gunshots. That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness testimony is true. The judge is lost in thought. What should I do? Raise an objection. Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead, but his word is all we have. Und der Fakt, dass er gerade umgefallen ist übrigens und im Koma liegt und anscheinend die ganze Zeit schläft. If he were telling a lie. Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say this testimony is a lie, show us proof. Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please, can you hear me, sis? Please? We need your help. Nick needs you. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough. The witness may leave the stand. Ich glaube, braucht ein Kissen. Und eine Decke. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? No. This court finds the defendant Mr. Miles Edgeworth. What? The accused will surrender to the court immediately. To be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. The court is adjourned. What? Wait, okay. Okay. Who was that just now? Me! Ah, Maya. What? Oh, but what? Okay, Larry! What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot! I heard it too! Hast du auch was gesehen? Order! God damn it, fuck off. What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot. That night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murder. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Clean good. Clean good. Clean good. Clean good. Okay, butts. Order. Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry, he could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is your duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. Allerdings. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? Allerdings. I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Nice. Okay. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this witness to testify now. What? The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. Vorerst. Recess. Okay. Okay. Defendant lobby number 2. Doch keine 3 Minuten, huh, Mr. Von Karma? That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. On the edge of your worth? Ah! It's even worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night. Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon and the air tank that night. Yeah. Warum der... Aber der Air Tank ist halt echt extrem merkwürdig, naja. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh. You say something right. Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh. Sind vielleicht gar nicht seine Fingerabdrücke, sondern die von seinem Vater? When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor and of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see. Right. Yeah. This might be our chance. Our chance. Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials. Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? Ich verstehe schon. It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. For all its edge worth. Oh. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15! Everything's on Larry now. Okay. Let's go. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right. Leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Let's see, Von Karma. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. Oh yeah. You're going down, Von Karma. Let's go. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back and in at the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Single gunshot? Single gunshot. That was an unusual, vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. Okay. Ich weiß schon, wo ich ihn pressen muss. Didn't see a boat. Bam. Das hier. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Well, Nick. It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry, I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Okay, gehen wir mal einzeln durch hier. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There were so many things wrong, I don't know where to begin. Well, okay. First of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11 when I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on a boat at such a late hour? I was looking for something and I found it. Das allerdings looking for something. Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? Das allerdings auch, ja. What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gertie. That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense. Allerdings, that is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. So I quietly... Oh, moment. Yeah. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12, yeah. You're not sure. Hey, don't give me that face! I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. Oh, sundial. Achso, yeah. Moment. One single gunshot. Hatten wir nicht das Testimony von... Lotta? Two shots. Yeah. Gotcha. Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard one bang, you're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard two bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard two gunshots that night. Huh. Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Answer the fucking question. Mr. Butts. What? You only heard one gunshot, are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Not sure. How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else. My radio, dude. With my headphones. What? Er hätte aber trotzdem noch den anderen Gunshot hören können, weil er den ersten schon gehört hat. Order! And stop that booing! Mr. Butts. You were listening to the radio with your headphones. Yeah, so what? What, that a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. It's a big deal. Mr. Von Karma, your opinion. Waste of time. I do not accept this witness, nor this shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Natürlich! Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah, nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Von Butts. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this. Believe me. What Larry said. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio. See, I was listening to it like real booming loud like. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. You were listening to your radio at a high volume. Yeah, what's the big problem? Can a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Nicht ganz. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Nicht der Typ von Street Fighter 2, das ist ein anderes. Anyway, what this means is, when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could only have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Okay. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. So you turned on the radio. Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know. You don't know what it's like out there alone on Christmas Eve. Alone. I shouldn't have said anything. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio. Do you by any chance remember the name of the program you were listening to? Nah, okay, ich habe das echt unwichtig. That has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set to that night? I was listening to it real booming loud like. Real booming loud. Yeah, you know. And you had headphones on. Yup. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. Nah. Also ein Gunshot definitiv. Sollte man zumindest. Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. Nah, I can't prove it. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? Exactly what did she saying when I heard it? What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said to us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Oh. Well, how do you know if we don't ask him? Yeah, fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Almost Christmas. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Fakama was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. Moment. It's almost Christmas. Moment, it's almost Christmas? Zwischen dem 24. und 25. Moment, okay. It's almost Christmas! 12:15 Uhr? What? But there is one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Yeah. Ah, damn it. Come on. Gunshot. Bam. 12:15 Uhr. Yes. Almost Christmas, my ass. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and? Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Mrs. Hart's camera. Mm-hmm. 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Take this von Karma and eat it. Order. What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. That has nothing to do with the case von Karma, übrigens. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butts' claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? Wenn es im Radio gehört hat, denke ich mal... Ich glaube nicht, dass man das so leicht vergisst, vor allem. Deswegen würde ich sagen, Larry's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard the gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. Moment. Fired 3 times. Just after midnight. Auf jeden Fall ist es mit DL6 nochmal erwähnt. Deswegen haben wir die beiden Sachen auf jeden Fall. Fired 3 times? This is my evidence. The murder weapon. Something about your pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. Well, then, when then was the last shot fired? What did I ask them? Only now have I realized the truth. That third shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Yep. Order. I guess that would make sense out of yesterday's testimonies. Bah, your waste of time again with your empty statements. Yes, the pistol was fired 3 times. But do you have any proof that it was fired before midnight? Do you have proof that the witness didn't just think he heard something? Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Do you have evidence that proves there was a gunshot before midnight? Do you have any evidence that proves Mr. Butts wasn't just hearing things? Moment. Die 3 schon mal nicht. Metalldetektor ebenfalls nicht. 2 sounds like gunshots just after midnight. $11:50 Uhr? Es war keiner auf dem Lake? Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh yeah. But there is nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. Ja, weil der erste Schuss gar nicht auf dem Boot gefallen ist. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha. Yep, correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at the time that Larry claims. Und es war nicht auf dem Lake. Order. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen on that night on the lake. Oder den Lake herum wohl eher, huh? Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Plus noch ein dritter. Why, I ask you, why? Uh-oh, I'd better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. Ah! What's wrong, Nick? I have it! Ernsthaft? Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya! Yes. If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Right, I mean, is this safe? Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. I don't think so. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. Okay. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. Spill the beans, ich weiß es nämlich auch nicht. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realize the truth? There can be no other murder here than Miss Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant Edgeworth and the victim Robert Hammond were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes. But this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. Ah, genau, ja. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 12:15, but Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. Moment. The murderer and Hammond. It was the murderer and Robert Hammond. What are you saying? That contradicts what you just told the court. You said that Robert Hammond had been killed 25 minutes before the gunshot. Yes, that's right. Also, might I mention, the defendant, Mr. Edgeworth, has admitted to being on that boat. Whoops. Right, Your Honor. Crash and burn. Whoops. Mr. Wright, your client has already been declared guilty once. I'm going to have to penalize you for this foolishness. Whoops. I'll ask you again. Explain who the two men on the boat are. Moment. Also Edgeworth auf jeden Fall. Dann müsste es Edgeworth und der Murderer sein und Hammond wurde einfach in den See reingeworfen. Edgeworth und Hammond. Also mal ganz genau überlegen. Also das ist jetzt die Sache, die ich mir gerade vorstelle. Aber Edgeworth und Hammond. Auf dem Boot. Edgeworth und Hammond. Nee, ich glaube Edgeworth and the Murderer dann wahrscheinlich. Of course it was Edgeworth and the Murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assured the guys of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. Alles klar. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name, right. It's... Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah, again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. Yep. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. Ah, at 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop. Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of the crime was not on a boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? Should have judged where the murder really took place. Hat er gesagt, hier, direkt bei der Shack? Bam. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way, he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Was geht's? Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. Yup. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. Allerdings. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he was wearing headphones at that time. Vor allem in sehr laut vor allem, oder wie auch immer er es genannt hat. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? The boat shop. Yeah. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gerd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. Okay, wir müssen das zusammenpuzzeln, denke ich mal. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. Yep. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Das ist tatsächlich echt morbide. Man knallt jemanden ab und gibt sich dann als diese Person aus. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? Bam. Of course it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes. Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanation is the moment that you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice. To create a witness? I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness. The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next. The murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then. Yeah. The murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. Yep. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once he realized that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop, then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw his body into the lake. That is what happened. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gord Lake. Keine objection, Mr. von Karma? Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Sehr gut. Sehr gut, sehr gut, sehr gut, sehr gut. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually, yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important. I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir! Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Find him quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. Okay. On bail, huh? Mr. von Karma, your witness has disappeared. Das ist tatsächlich ein Problem, huh? A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. Ja, ist ja wohl klar, warum. Er wird ja wahrscheinlich versuchen, jetzt einfach wegzukommen, weil das in 2 Tagen mehr oder weniger verjährt, der Fall. Also DL6 in dem Fall. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. Hätte er seinen Namen von Anfang an gesagt, wie wir das von ihm erwartet haben, hätten wir dieses Problem jetzt nicht. I want him and I want to know who he is. Sollte man das nicht normalerweise sowieso von vornherein machen? Mr. von Karma! Mein Gott, ey. Vollkommen perfekt vorbereitet, Witness und alles, aber den Namen, den hast du nicht, ne? Das macht voll Sinn von Karma. Fucking really. Very well, court is adjourned. Und er lässt sich einlullen davon auch noch. Der fucking... Goddammit. Ist ja wunderbar. Defendant Lobby, number 2. Yay, Nick, you did it. Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on the trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth. No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you, to get it off my chest, but... I can't make up my mind. What is this about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed. A memory of a murder. Okay.